Now to the massive earthquake in Russia triggering tsunami alerts around the world. Tsunami waves arrived along the California coast in Monterey and the Bay Area overnight.
We are not hearing of any damage at this point. Experts say we could see strong currents for up to a day, though. Let's get right to new video showing the moments after the tsunami warnings went out in Hawaii. The Coast Guard facilitating evacuation of boats as people were warned to get their vessels away from the shoreline to avoid damage. Overnight, evacuation orders were dropped for people on the islands, and the warning was reduced to an advisory. Now we're hearing from people who were there when those alerts went out.
My husband showed me that he had gotten the warning on his phone, and it was very clear. It said, "You are in danger. Get away from coastal waters."
If you have a flight to Hawaii today, check the status before you go. Honolulu International Airport is recovering after all flights were stopped for a time last night after the tsunami was triggered. According to FlightAware, 2 United flights from SFO and a Southwest flight from San Jose were turned around and returned to the Bay Area. This morning, Honolulu's airport is reporting multiple delays and cancellations.
And this is where the massive 8.8 magnitude earthquake struck. It was off the coast of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. This happened about 9:30 in the morning local time. Video shows waves flooding a town on Russia's eastern coastline. We know that buildings were damaged and at least several people were injured. The town you're looking at has been evacuated. And take a look at this here, a stressful situation as surgeons and operating room staff held onto their patient during the earthquake. This video is from eastern Russia near the epicenter. Officials say that doctors stayed calm and stayed with the patient the entire time. Russia's TASS news agency reports that in the biggest city near the epicenter, cars swayed in the street and balconies on buildings shook noticeably. A school building collapsed in that area.
Tsunami warning,
all right.
First wave.
Here we go. Everybody's been sent home, trying to get home. It's gridlocked. Freaking cars for miles. You literally don't move.
Bumper to bumper traffic, gridlock in Honolulu yesterday as people tried to get home or tried to get to higher ground after the tsunami warning. The person who recorded this video says they could see surfers trying to catch a tsunami wave. And our very own ABC 7 Mornings anchor, of course, you know Reggie, a native of the islands, posting this to Instagram overnight. Reggie writing prayers up for the folks who have folks in Hawaii. His sister said traffic was bumper to bumper as people were trying to get to safety in Kauai. ABC 7 News sports director Larry Beal lived in Hawaii for many years and shared his perspective about the situation on the islands during the tsunami warnings.
It's not uncommon to have these types of tsunami warnings, and to be honest, some of us back in the day didn't take them all that seriously. Sure. We would host tsunami parties because usually it's a 1-inch, 2-inch wave, something like that. But there's a reason that this one is being taken more seriously, and that is, well, there's several reasons. The 8.8 level magnitude quake, that generates a tremendous amount of force.
Looking live now out at Waikiki, where people are waking up to these conditions outside right now. First responders warn there will be multiple waves from the tsunami coming in over the course of a day. In the Bay Area, no evacuations were issued due to the tsunami risk. However, first responders have been on high alert. ABC 7 News reporter Zach Fuentes is live at Ocean Beach, which was closed last night and remains that way. Zach, what's it like right now?
Yeah, it is still dark and early out here at Ocean Beach, but definitely if you could see, well, you can't quite see because it is dark, but we can see some waves coming through here, but nothing too terrible at this point. Like you said, there are no evacuation orders in place at this point. And thankfully, nobody out at the beach either at this hour. Again, first responders are warning people to stay away from the water. The National Weather Service Bay Area said that we are seeing tidal swings of 2 to 2.5 feet in as little as 15 minutes. They say that can create some seriously dangerous currents along beaches and harbors, so they are urging people to stay away from the water today. And we do know that overnight, National Park Service rangers have been out here trying to keep people off the beaches and out of the water. We've also talked to the SF Department of Emergency Management, who talked about the dangers to people and vessels in the water during these conditions because of the bay's uniqueness.
What happens in the bay is there's somewhat of a bathtub effect that you see, and meaning that the water will shift around, and so there's danger to those boats and other vessels that are on the water.
Yeah, again, no evacuations have been ordered, but that messaging still to stay away from this area. Officials don't expect that tsunami advisory to change into a warning, but they want people to stay away because these conditions can last for quite a long time. So again, it's still dark out here at Ocean Beach. No people around here at this hour, and that's exactly how officials want it to stay. We're going to continue to track the conditions out here throughout the morning. Right now, live in San Francisco, Zach Fuentes, ABC 7 News.
All right, Zach, thank you. Now, the Bay Area has seen destructive tsunamis before.
That's right. You may remember back in 2011, a tsunami damaged boats in the Santa Cruz Harbor, sinking some. And this came after a 9.1 earthquake in Japan. The cost of the damage topped $20 million. In December, a 7.0 earthquake hit off the coast of Humboldt County. It triggered a tsunami warning. Cell phones across the Bay Area blasted an alert, and several cities ordered evacuations, but no tsunami ever developed.
Yesterday's earthquake is the 6th largest ever recorded on Earth. The only larger quakes have all been at least a 9.0, including one that hit along the same Russian peninsula back in 1952. Now, that one triggered a tsunami that hit Hawaii. It caused more than $1 million in damage, which would be about $12 million today. Now, back in March, San Francisco crews installed more tsunami awareness signs across the city. They have information about how evacuation routes, how you can get away, risk, and shelters. San Francisco's tsunami sirens remain silent, though. The city took the system offline in 2019 because it needed cybersecurity upgrades.
Now, every county in the Bay Area faces some level of risk from a tsunami. That risk varies depending on where you live. This tsunami hazard area map highlights the at-risk areas in yellow. It includes the coastal areas along the ocean and along the bay, as well as some sections near the delta. So these are the areas that you don't want to be in when a tsunami hits. And as we're thinking about the threat from a tsunami, now is a good time to make sure that you're ready for an earthquake. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed, and if you need help, you can go to abc7news.com/prepare-NorCal. And I know that Drew has been tracking this since last night. Drew, I live on the coast. A lot of people there are really worried, but right now, no evacuations ordered.
No, and we're not anticipating any, really, because we are seeing those tsunami waves arrive on our coastline this morning, and they have been exactly where they thought we would be, about a foot or less higher than average. But still, the Tsunami Advisory continues until further notice. What this means, throughout the day, we are going to see a little bit of an abnormality in our wave height. So it just means we have some stronger than normal currents out there. Could even see some strong rip currents from time to time. So you do just want to stay out of the ocean today. You don't want to go in there because of the abnormalities in those wave heights. Now, we just talked about this magnitude 8.8 earthquake, the strongest since 2011. And now, like they said, it's the top 10 strongest since 1900. So we are seeing those effects from such a big earthquake over the last 24 hours.